Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, I'm trying knotless braids for the very first time. So yeah, if you want to see me and all of my mistakes, then yeah, just stay tuned because this was something. So of course, I've shampooed her hair, blow dried her hair, and so I'm just using edge control to perfect my parts. That's what I see everybody else doing. At first, I was kind of opposed to using edge control because I don't like greasy hair, and braiding with greasy hair is kind of hard sometimes, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, I'm just going to use some edge control to define my parts. And yeah, I've already separated my braiding hair into small pieces. How I planned on doing this was adding the hair in with my right hand, but I was pretty much like in the way of the camera and my grip was off, so I was just like, this is not gonna work. So I switched over to gripping with my right hand and adding the hair with the left hand. And I don't know, it was just something about like her perimeter, the back was really soft and her edges were really soft, so I feel like I couldn't grip it like I wanted to. So I probably did this braid maybe 2 or 3 times, and then I finally got it to my liking and I moved on to the next braid. But I will say that yeah, the softer hair is hard to grip. So I'm just doing pretty much the traditional feed-in braid method where you just add piece by piece. And for each braid, I added about 3 pieces. Some braids, I think I may have added 4 depending on the length. But just for some reason, I just couldn't grip the braids to my liking. Like, they would be okay, but I really wanted them to be, you know, snatched and laid or whatever y'all say. I'm not hip at all. And I do apologize if my camera is out of focus on certain clips. I apologize if my big old head, my shoulder, my hands, whatever, if anything is in the way or you can't see something, then I really do apologize. I do have a ring light. I think I need to possibly purchase a bigger one. I did have a bigger one that broke, and so I ended up purchasing one that was about 12 or 14 inches. And it's not the brightest, so I do think that that does have some effect on my camera staying in and out of focus. I think sometimes the lighting is off and my camera can't focus, so I do want to apologize for that. But I'm just moving on to the next row. And once I moved on to the next row, it seemed like it was so much easier. I kind of had started, you know, my own little method, because everybody has their own way of how they add in the hair. Some people start off with hair at the base, some people don't. I found that I do like to have a piece of hair at the base. Like, I just go ahead and separate my 3 strands and then I'll go ahead and add a strand in, because it just gives me better grip. It makes the braid, you know, thicker from jump. It doesn't go from super narrow to a thick braid. You know, it gives a more natural look. So I do like to go ahead and add the hair in at the beginning of the braid. I do not wait. And I will say this is something that I was not confident in, because, you know, normally when you do a traditional box braid, you're wrapping the hair around somebody's natural hair, and so if you have it tight enough, it's gonna grip. But with the knotless braids, you're pretty much starting off with the person's natural hair, and so it's not gonna be as tight as you would expect it to be with a traditional box braid. which leads me to believe that knotless braids probably don't last long because they're not even that tight in my opinion from jump, unless I just don't know what I'm doing. But they don't appear to be really tight. You know, you can pretty much style them any way you want the same day. They don't hurt, so I don't think that it's a style that's gonna last that long. My next thing that I want to try is the knotless braids with the curly hair, like the goddess. It's called goddess or something, whatever it's called, where you leave out the curly hair. I want to do that with the knotless braids. So for most of my braids, I'm braiding them halfway down and then I'm clipping them, and I just plan to finish the braid once I'm done with the entire head. But some of the braids I did end up braiding all the way down to the end just because I wanted to see how they would look. I don't know, I was just doing stuff. So by the time I make it to the top, I feel like I pretty much have down like a good technique. And so yeah, I'm just, you know, trying to make it through these braids. I'm not like a box braider at all. I can braid to the scalp all day long, but box braids, I don't like them. And then of course, I just started having some trouble on the edges. They're just very soft. She has very soft hair. And yeah, I struggle with it. I don't think I was able to grip it to my liking, so I just said I'm just going to move on to the next part, and I'll just come back to that particular braid later.
Perfect.
I'm really surprised at how well I was able to last throughout these braids, because I used to have problems with my hands very bad. Like, I don't know if you would say it was carpal tunnel, because I didn't think carpal tunnel came and went, but lately, you know, I haven't really been having problems out of my hand, and I just feel so blessed that, you know, I'm able to make money, because when you can't use your hands, it's like, you know, this is my money maker. So if I can't do hair, then I can't make no money. If I can't make wigs, I can't make no money. Hell, if I can't hardly operate certain utensils or, you know, maneuver around the house with certain things, I can't do certain things. I remember when I first had my baby, I struggled, but we have came a long way. We have finished these braids, you know, and it's all thanks to God, because girl, I be struggling with these box braids. I will turn somebody down about some box braids. I don't like to do them, but I don't know, the knotless braids, they're not as thick as traditional box braids, or I don't know, I guess you could pretty much make box braids as thick as you want them, but it just seems so much easier than put a lot of stress on my hands, especially with me. I be trying to talk too fast, but especially with me trying to do traditional box braids, I wouldn't have been able to do it, because you have to make sure it's real tight, and it's not slipping, and that just puts a lot of stress on my hands. But yeah, I'm basically just taking hot water and dipping it to seal the ends. I'm sure you've seen this plenty of times. The other day I was watching a video. I saw a lady burn some braiding hair, burn the ends. She was burning, going up and down the braid. And I know we used to do that back in the day, but I'm like, girl, we got different types of braiding hair now to where all you got to do is just dip it in hot water. Like, please stop burning the ends of these box braids, because that's what makes them raggedy or even quicker. Like, perfect. I hadn't seen that in so long, and I didn't think people still did that. And yeah, so anyways, I'm just rambling about a whole bunch of nothing. This is pretty much the end of this video. Let me know how you think I did down in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. Give me 1,000 views and 50 likes. I will see you in my next one. Bye.